everybody, and welcome once again to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. I'm Mike Parker here with Artie from ABC. And Artie, we are on the road. As I think it took us a couple podcasts to actually get on the road, but we're finally on the road. Where are we here tonight, my friend?
Hey Mike, I welcome you to our Lititz location. Lititz is such a great small town. Once voted the coolest small town in America, and I think it still is. It's one of my favorite places to come. Anytime I can get to this location, I really enjoy it. And we have such great, not only employees at this location, but also our customers are really amazing. They've supported us so well over the last 10 years here, and it's just happy to be here.
What do you love about the location of Lititz? Why do you think so many people come here and then discover the brew pub?
Well, I think it's definitely the proximity to Philadelphia. I think a lot of people from Philly come to this area to shop and just enjoy this really great small town. Other than that, it's a bedroom community outside of Lancaster. Mm-hmm. So I think also people come here from Lancaster, they travel, and then we just have there's a lot of people around this area in Ephrata, and a lot of our employees truly come from the Ephrata area, Lancaster, and even over as far as Elizabethtown.
I would describe this as a town that has a lot going on too. So if you haven't been to the big chicken barbecue thing they do, or there's a lot of walkable, shoppable little places downtown in Lititz that kind of makes it a fun sort of date trip or day trip, depending on what you're doing. So younger people, older people, everybody sort of likes to spend the day here.
No doubt, and you can walk the town. We're a little bit off the square. We're on Water Street. You can either be on the square and have limited parking, or you can be out by us and have a lot of parking. We're happy we have the lot of parking, but you can walk this town. They have the chocolate walk. They have, because Wilbur Chocolate was in this town for so long, their store's still here. So there's so many different events going on, almost one every weekend that Venture Lititz puts on. And I'll tell you, they do such a great job of keeping this town busy, and it just shows in the quality of the businesses in this town.
So it's a fun place. If you've not been to Lititz, Pennsylvania before, definitely check it out. It's a fun place to be. And while you're here, look up Appalachian Brewing Company. We're here on Water Street, but the thing I like about the name, the fact that you chose Water Street is because Beer Street probably wasn't an option at this point. But water is the main ingredient in beer, correct?
Yeah, Beer Street wasn't available, so we took Water Street, Mike.
All right, cool. Well, on that note, Artie, let's cheers. Let's kick things off, and tell me what you're drinking here tonight.
Being in Lititz tonight, and in the mood of being in Lititz, I'm drinking the Apocalypse. It's a honey red ale, and it's a little on the stronger side.
It's a big beer.
Yeah, pretty big for an amber ale. But it just is so smooth, so creamy. Look at the head on that. Just super creamy.
Nice. And I've got the Pennypacker Porter, which is a darker beer, real toasty, delicious. Just a great mouthfeel there. And I guess if it's true what people say, sort of like we're in daylight savings now, so it's getting darker outside earlier, and now I'm switching over to some darker beers.
Yeah, Mike, you talk about that a lot. You tend to move into darker styles over the winter, and that porter's just amazing. Got a really nice, like you said, mouthfeel. The chocolatiness of it, and just that beautiful color, that little bit of a red hue to it, but still dark. The guys are doing a great job. As I always say, the guys are killing it.
So we are approaching the holidays, starting to notice kind of the COVID carryover. A couple of good things, I guess you could say. And I mean, some people have been like this forever, but last year the trend was, people were feeling a little bit down, maybe a little bit depressed and things. And, one of the ways they cheered themselves up was they started decorating for Christmas a lot earlier. So it's almost like we went from Halloween to Christmas. You know,
we didn't miss a beat, did
no,
we?
Thanksgiving sort of happened, but in various ways, you know. And this year, I noticed a lot of that too. I noticed that definitely if you go shopping in a store, you know, it's already Christmas, and then I noticed some people have lights out, and you know, the Grinch inflatable is out in the front yard or whatever people to do. You know, it's kind of fun, and I don't mind it. What do you think about a little early Christmas spirit?
You know, it's so weird again this year. I hate to say it. You know, you hear about supply chain issues, and we certainly deal with it on our packaging side, not only in the brewery but also on the distillery and soda side of our business. But you know, I hear about store shelves being empty. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really go into stores very often, Mike. I work all the time, so if I'm in a store, it's in one of our stores normally, right? So I hope that we can just all have a good, normal Christmas this year. You know, and so that if I was to get that for Christmas, I would be set.
That would be the greatest gift, just for
right.
a little bit. Well, I mean, look, we don't get political on the podcast because there's really no purpose. I mean, we're here to talk about beer and have fun, but there's clearly people who are comfortable with sort of just going back to normal, and then there's people who just aren't quite ready yet. And maybe that's more than we think. And in the restaurant industry, that's a little, you know, it's a tough pill to swallow yet, because I guess people are just not getting out and about as much as they used to. Though, if you know, we're in Lititz tonight here at the Brew Pub, and it's hopping, you know, on a nice weekday evening. So, I mean, people are ready to come back out and get back. It's just a matter of, is everybody ready? Probably not 100% yet.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready 100%. You know, we always have to take into consideration not only our employees, but our customers and their safety and their feeling about how this pandemic is progressing. So we just try to make sure that we care for everybody. You know, we take everybody's thoughts and their you know, their beliefs in what's going on here. And we make it seem, you know, we make it so it's important to our company, and we just continue to do that.
Yeah. Well, hey, supply chain is down, you know, nationally they say it's hard to get. I mean, holy crap. Is there anything harder to get than a PlayStation 5? I don't know. You probably have no idea, but I can tell you, there is nothing harder to find than a PlayStation 5.
What is that, Mike? What is that?
Someone who has 2 kids that would love to have one. I'm telling you right now, unless you're willing to pay like a scalper $1,000 for something that should cost $500, you're out of luck. So, you know, people are really trying to get things early. But the cool thing about, you know, a town like Lititz and a business like Appalachian Brewing Company is that it's all local. So the local supply chain, the furthest, there's not much of a chance that there's a big container, you know, ship stuck somewhere between Lititz and Harrisburg.
No,
right?
That's right. Yeah,
so
that's right.
As long as we can drive a truck down here a couple of times a week, the beer's here, you know, the fun merchandise is here, the gift cards are here, and if you want a night out with friends, the food is always here in the Brew Pub, right?
That's right. That's right. And I do have an old Nintendo that we haven't used in about 10 years.
How much
so
you want for
I'd
it?
definitely sell it to you for less than $1,000.
I'm telling you, it's insane out there right now. The markets are nuts with people trying to do this. Now, it's partly because they say that the factories were shut down and they couldn't produce enough microchips for the demand of these products, which makes sense. But the other part of it is that there's scalpers and there's people that have big, fast computers that anytime someone like Target or Walmart or Best Buy puts these video game systems on sale, immediately there's a computer that's buying all of them. And then they end up somewhere, and then instead of being able to buy them for retail, you got to buy them for like at least twice as much. It's insane. So I think the companies are getting a little better at the protection on that. But again, those are first world problems. I would much rather spend time outdoors doing fun stuff with my kids than have them sit in front of video games. But I'll be honest here, Artie, as a 43-year-old man, I played video games when I was a kid, so it's not like it's weird at this point. It's pretty normal for kids to want to play video games.
No doubt, Mike. They, our kids weren't really into it that much, but I'd like to just say that, forget the microchips. Let's go with the microbrews.
Microbrews, no
Let's do it.
microchips,
Yeah,
microbrews.
We don't need any microchips in our microbrews.
Absolutely. All right, so if you're looking for that early Christmas gift, you want to knock it off the list, somebody that you love, somebody that you care about, heck, an employee, a boss, anybody that you want to make feel special, it's an easy choice. Shop local, support local, ABC. Come on in, grab a gift card, grab a 6-pack of beer. Another place to go is the State Store. Pick up a bottle of booze, right? Yeah. Appalachian Craft Spirits.
Yeah, you can get our craft spirits. All 5 of our brands are in there now. We've got the 5-year bourbon, of course, our signature vodka, which is 6 times
so
distilled.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, you love that. I know you've been down, purchased a couple bottles. We also have our gin and our island rum. And lastly, the agave. I don't know if you've seen that product, Mike, but our new agave is it's doing great in the State Stores.
I think that's probably, if that's a spoiler for anybody who's listening, that's probably something that they're going to find in the stocking this year. Not the kids. Friends, 21 and older, I promise. I'm just saying, getting off the video games. I like the no microchips, microbrews. That's the best
right.
way to
Let's
go.
do that.
All right. Artie, so, hey, speaking of Lititz, speaking of fun things to do in this cool town, we're going to have a guest coming up.
Yeah, our first guest tonight is our new general manager here. His name's Zach. Zach just is a great guy. He fits in so well with our company. Just smiles and just nothing, nothing really bothers him. Everything sort of bounces off of him, and I think he's gonna be a great team member for us for a long time.
Cool. So we'll be talking with Zach, and we'll also be learning a little bit more about the effort to keep Lititz on the map. It's already on the map, but we want to keep it on the map and tell you about some cool things to do with the organization here called Venture Lititz, and we'll have a special guest from that organization coming up. So hey, it's Mike and it's Artie, and we're back here on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast in just a couple of minutes.
For all the latest, go to abcbrew.com.
All right, and we're back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. It's Mike and Artie, and we brought in another guest here. It's the general manager of the Lititz Appalachian Brewing Company Brew Pub. It's Zach Nesbitt. How's it going, Zach?
It's going great. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing really good, thank you. And by the way, I needed a refill, so I was thinking Thanksgiving dinner, so I saw what was on the beer tap menu over there, and it reminded me of pie. So it was
Blackberry Cobbler.
Blackberry Cobbler Sour. I love
That's
the
right.
sour brews. So here, I'm going to give this a quick try here. Zach, have you had it?
I have. It's pretty darn good. Not spoiling it for you.
Zach is right. I love it. Oh my God, Zach, great job, man. Good prediction there. It was going to be a good beer. And seriously, I like the sours, and Artie, the sour brews have been something that you guys have stepped up over the last year or two, right?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, we switched over our Gettysburg brewery to just a strictly sour brewery. So it's our goal to put out between 10 and 15 barrels of sour beer a month. And that's about what we go through in the location. So it works out perfectly. We're trying to do all sorts of new things all the time, but still going back and, the Mangalorean. Remember
yes.
that?
Great
That was
name,
that one, and a couple others that we'll bring back while we're putting out these new ones as well.
Cool. And so what do you find, Zach? Is it like Lititz? We were talking about the Lititz location earlier, and it's sort of like it's a good mix of local people, and also, I know you haven't been here that long either, you're fairly new, but the fact is that it's not far from the Turnpike, it's sort of a destination, cool little town. So what do you find? Locals that have what they want, the mug club, you find people that sort of come in for a day and discover something new?
You get a mix of everything. I mean, we've been here just a week, and incredible the people I've met. I mean, we've got our corporate group of regulars, our mug club members, people live a block down, and I've got people in town from business who just saw our brewery, read about the beers, and had to stop in. And they, everyone around here, business-wise, just directs them to us. So it's been fantastic.
And you guys have been pretty much a welcome addition to Lititz ever since you got here. At least about a decade ago, right, Artie?
Yeah, it's been a long time. To be honest with you, I was driving down the turnpike and coming down here, and I couldn't remember what year we started. I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
It sounds about right, and it's become part of it's the local cheers for some people. They come in here and just enjoy a pint, enjoy the company, meet cool new people like Zach, and have great food. So, look, I wanted to try one thing here, Zach. What we're trying to do is give people some early holiday gift-giving ideas. And we thought about some Appalachian Brewing Company merchandise. So let's just go here. I'm gonna go through. I'm just gonna go through on my smartphone as we talk. So I'm gonna go to abcbrew.com, Artie, and then I'm gonna click the on my phone. It looks great. I'm gonna click these three little bars, and it says shop. I'm going to click on shop, and then it says, I have a couple options. I have gift cards, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then I have brewware. So let's go through some of the items in the brewware here and tell me what we've got.
That's putting Zach on the spot, I think, a little too much for his time here. But
Zach,
just a little.
Wait, Zach, have you never seen a sweatshirt?
You've never seen a hoodie? Have you never worn a hoodie, Zach? So the first item on here is the Drink Local hoodie. The one thing I will say is we work with Accurite out of Hershey, and the best thing about Accurite is they bring in the best garments. We try to use the nicest garments with the best feel, smooth,
That's
soft,
important.
so and they last a long time. So anything you purchase, it's going to be lasting for quite a while. In terms of some of the other things, Zach, have you seen that shirt?
The Drink Local. I just had someone in over the weekend looking for one.
Did they? Yeah.
We didn't have their size, but we gave them something else.
Oh.
That'll get edited later. But that was one of the things that jumped right out at this woman looking for her husband's birthday gift. So yeah, definitely, people love that design.
And then, what do you think of the tie-dye?
I
You a
like
big
that.
tie-dye
A
guy?
little funky and fun.
Yeah.
I miss most of the '80s, but
The 80s. Yeah, no, it's cool. No, it's sweet. Tie-dye never goes out of style. That's nice. It's like a blue pattern. It's got the cool Appalachian Brewing Company logo, which everybody kind of knows the old bridge logo, but this is the new logo that you guys have had for a couple of seasons now, which is. You told me it was inspired basically by when you lift a cold pint of beer off the table and it leaves the ring on the bottom on the table,
right,
and it
that's
leaves
right.
the little bit of I love that. Everybody loves it. Everybody who drinks a pint of beer has seen that shape, and it says Appalachian Brewing Company. That's sweet.
We have called that, from day one, we called it the Stain logo.
The stain.
and we had to sort of change it because it just doesn't sound great.
Right.
So now it's the Watermark logo.
The Watermark.
Yeah, Watermark
Yeah, that's
logo.
a little bit more.
Little
That's
better than Stain.
Hats are a great way to go. So you have a couple of nice hats going on the. So yeah, you can shop right on the website, and then you have the option to add it to the cart. And I don't know how does fulfillment work there. So do I get it? Can I have it actually shipped to me, or do I pick it up at one of my brew pubs? How does that work?
All this is shipped directly to the consumer.
Oh, great.
Yep, all this comes from Accurite, ships directly to the consumer. They handle all that for us, and they've been a great partner.
Cool. Well, look, if you're looking for something fun, if you want to sport the ABC brand, whether it's a hoodie, Zach's favorite tie-dye, funky and fun.
maybe someday.
Yeah, you can wear it to a Fish concert or something.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You make your way that way.
The Drink Local, you're probably going to get some high fives on the street wearing that baby. So I like everything that you got going on. So abcbrew.com, you go to the shop option, and then you look at the brewware and take a look and order something up. Makes a great gift. Makes a great gift for yourself, a little treat, or something if you're thinking about somebody for the holidays. So awesome. So go ahead.
Mike, just one thing I'd like to say is, I try to welcome all of our new people to our team. Zach, I want to welcome you. We haven't had a ton of time to sit down together. We've done some training together, Yeah, here and there a little bit, but I do want to welcome you to the team and wish you the best of luck. You got a great location with a bunch of, great employees. I think of one of our locations that has held together over these last couple of years. This one has, and not only that, you got great customers in the Lititz area.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it so far, so I'm excited to be a part of ABC and see where it goes from here.
Awesome. Well, we hope you stick around for some time. That'd be great.
Right. So if you're new to the area, or if you come in and if you listen to the podcast on your way here, say hi to Zach at ABC Lititz. And if you're one of the regulars and you know that Zach's brand new, give him a hard time for a little while, and you tell him, you help him out. Let him know how things are supposed to be run here, right, Artie?
Yeah, you remember, I'm not the boss here. The customers are the boss here.
Good, well said. All right, Zach Nesbitt, great to meet you, man.
Likewise, thank you.
All right, good luck. Okay, well, we're going to have another special guest here when we come back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast, and we'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. Plan your next visit by visiting abcbrew.com.
All right, and we're back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. Mike, Artie, we got rid of Zach. Zach's back to work, running the joint, right?
That's right.
We're at Appalachian Brewing Company Lititz this week, which is a lot of fun because you have locations to travel around. You can never grow tired of Appalachian because you can go around to different locations, check out the town, but then kind of come home to your favorite, in the evening or in the afternoon, have lunch at your favorite spot, have a familiar beer, and just enjoy a new place. And enjoying new places is what it's all about, right, Artie?
That's right. And Mike, I don't know if you know this, but Lititz is the only town that we have a brew pub in that's not a burg.
Oh,
Have you ever thought of that?
No, I never really thought about that. But Shippensburg and Harrisburg and Mechanicsburg.
Yep.
Man, what's up with all these burgs?
Well, we may just put in a petition to change the name to Lititzburg. What do you think?
Yes, I
you like that?
Right. Well, yes.
Rebecca's not sold.
So
Allow me to raise my hand.
So joining us right now is as our special guest is Rebecca Branle, and she is with Venture Lititz. How are you, Rebecca?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Tell us all about yourself and what is Venture Lititz.
Okay, so I'm the Executive Director of Venture Lititz, and Venture Lititz is the nationally accredited Main Street program for Lititz, Pennsylvania. A mouthful, but essentially we're a nonprofit, and we are super passionate about the town of Lititz, and we like to think of ourselves as stewards for Lititz, so we're thinking about preservation, protection, promotion, and progression. Like, what can we do to bring Lititz into the future, but also make sure that we hold fast to what makes us so cool today.
Gotcha. So we were just looking over the list of, we had mentioned at the top of the podcast, like there was the coolest small town in America in 2013 was Lititz, Pennsylvania, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And you don't lose cool. Once you're cool, right?
That's right. You're cool forever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're holding on to that. But you said there's actually something maybe even cooler on the horizon for the town, right?
I mean, I think it's a little cooler. I mean, we're still the coolest, so we hold on to that title, but then maybe even better is being named the best. So right now we're actually a finalist for America's Best Main Street. There were, I think, over 200 that were entered into this contest, and currently we're in the finals. And so we need everyone to go to the bestmainstreetcontest.com and vote for us. There's a link on all of our social channels. That's going to be the easiest place to find us to vote and make us the best Main Street, because then we get $25,000 for us to do a project here in Lititz. We're thinking public art or facade preservation.
Cool. Public art. So I'm thinking the Artie Tafoya mural, something
Mural
very.
of me? Yes,
You're
Mike,
right.
yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a cherub theme, something like
A short mural. Yeah, right.
Angelic.
Yeah. Angelic, very.
Sharp,
Yeah, that's
rosy
me.
cheeks
Yeah, you
and-
got me. You
Right,
described me perfectly.
That'd be great. So, no, that sounds awesome. So the name of the website again, so we get that. Just so go to Venture Lititz, like on social media, Facebook.
So our social handles are on Instagram, it's Lititz PA. Simple.
Perfect.
And on Facebook, it's Downtown Lititz.
All right. So all kidding aside, that's great. Get out, vote for Lititz. I mean, none of the Bergs made it, apparently, so you might as well vote for Lititz.
Maybe we stand out for a reason.
That's right. Well, yeah, I would like to point out that they got the coolest small town the year after we moved to town. I'm just saying.
Could be a connection.
Could be a connection.
Possibly.
Probably not, but Lititz definitely needed a brewery at that time.
It probably put it over the top, if nothing else. The little cheesy pretzels will get you so far, right?
You need a beer to go with your pretzel.
That's right. That was all they were missing.
Right. All right, well, Rebecca, this is really cool. So let's, first of all, I see that you have a beverage in front of you. So welcome to Appalachian Brewing Company Lititz. I have the Blackberry Cobbler Sour. Artie's still drinking the Apocalypse, and you have the On Point Pills. So let's cheers.
Cheers.
All right. There we go. And tell us what you think.
You know, my husband thinks that we have to be like super beer snobs because he's from Belgium. And I have to say that this is up to snuff. This is awesome. So
Listen, yeah, it's great. The Pilsner is so. I always tell people don't overthink it, right? If you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 20 beers and I've never tried one. Well, don't go for the wackiest one that you probably just go with. It's okay. It's like it's not as if big beer company beers are bad. If you like them, you're just probably going to find something here that has better ingredients and is brewed locally, and it's definitely a lot more fresh. So you'll appreciate those differences, but you don't have to go off the wall with something that you've never tried before. So a Pilsner is a great choice. Is that good advice, Artie?
You bet. And our brewmaster Bruce, he says that a Pilsner is the sign of the rest of the beers. So if you can make a good Pilsner in a small brewery like ours, every other beer will follow suit, because it's really the signature of that brewery, because it's one of the harder ones to make. To make they're not Pilsner's not hard to make. It's hard to make really good. So that's when I go to a brewery, I tend to try the Pilsner first, and then from there I can go wherever I want to.
So your husband is from Belgium, which that certainly implies that he probably is. Does he like beer at room temperature, or how does that? Am I good at this?
It's not really a thing, Mike. But
No, okay. Am I making that
not
up?
room temperature.
That's what I heard.
he's very passionate about the pairing of bicycles and beer and the sport of cyclocross, which is a very Belgian sort of thing.
Okay.
I get that, yeah.
Okay. So Belgian beers, Artie, like what? Actually, that's a good point though. A Belgian beer is actually influenced by the yeast in the recipe, right? I mean, isn't that's how we define those? And like I always think of. I would describe to someone who has never had a Belgian beer before as almost like, all right, they can taste different, but there's always almost like maybe tell me if I'm totally wrong here, but there's almost like a bubble gummy sweetness to them in a way. Like I was like and that comes from the Belgian yeast, right?
Yeah, Mike. The Belgian yeast tends to give off esters, sort of like the Hefeweizen, where you get sort of that banana clove flavor. The Belgian yeasts that we use and that are used traditionally in Belgium are wild yeasts that are provided in the air in those areas. But they tend to give off esters of more so spicy. We always talk about our Belgian beers as being somewhat spicy. They can be a little bit peppery. They can be a little bit clovey. They can touch all those different spice areas, and they all do tend to be a little bit sweeter or bigger, and what we would consider to be malty. A double, and an Abbey beer, a double and a triple. They get stronger as you go. But when I was in Belgium for the time that I was there, about a week and a half, we traveled all over, and it was one beer after another, and you just fall in love with these really cool malty beers. It's hard to drink. Once you do it for a little while, you're like, wow, this is big, and how am I going to get this one down? But you end up in a situation where you just love them, and there's nothing like them, truly. It's a whole different complexity.
So when you say, because I've seen what's common is like a Belgian triple, right?
Sure.
What does that actually mean? 3 times something, or what's a triple, or what does that stand for?
Yeah, triples are very strong, but they're also very light in color normally. So they're going to be Duval is the classic triple.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beer that if you're gonna you're going to make a triple, it better stand up to that beer or as close as you can to that beer.
Right.
Do you drink that beer, Rebecca?
Let's just say I have 3 children and I'm out of practice, but I will get back to it.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
We got deep into the beer there, didn't we?
Yeah, no, that's great. I love it because it gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit about another style. And I look forward to whenever I see a Belgian beer here at ABC, I always go for one because, again, in my mind, I know that it's going to be something a little sweeter and it's something a little bit different. And it's not something that I drink every day. But you can find them every day. There certainly are Belgian beers out there that are mass produced or imported that you can find at the distributor. So you want to try something, and it's easier than ever as Pennsylvania has loosened its laws to just grab a bottle of something, and
sure,
and give it a
it's
whirl.
a little easier because you go to buy a case of Framboise, it was probably going to cost you $200 if you could find it. So you didn't want to invest $200 in a beer that you may not drink, but that Framboise and those types of beers really started the sour craze, and now you see that sour craze moving all over the United States. So Belgian beers, they were trendsetters way before their own, for this time, but they definitely produce some great beers, and I look forward to getting back there. You want to go, Mike?
Dude, when do we leave? Like, I don't know. I thought you were like, do I want to go now? Like, leave here at this? No, go to Belgium? Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so
Let's do it.
So that's cool. So the other part about having you here and talking about some of your, the influence of your family and your husband, and so like food. I mean, it's Thanksgiving time, and so we're trying to give people Thanksgiving ideas and. Coming in here and picking up a growler on the way to Thanksgiving dinner, like maybe the next day is always a great way to share something local and fresh with the family. Because let's say you're just not that great of a baker or you're busy. But yeah, I brought a growler of beer. That makes me pretty popular. But is there any Belgian influence?
Well, I think that for my husband's family, they were from the French part of Belgium, so a lot of it is in the sauces, right? So it gets a little sophisticated in that sort of area. However, I will say we're pretty traditional on Thanksgiving.
I mean, it's not really a Belgian holiday.
It's not.
But see, that's the thing. But
Mike, it's not a Belgian holiday. What are you getting at?
But you can't tell me that a Belgian guy living in America wants to eat all turkey and stuff. He's going to be like, I got to have a little something. He probably had some influence. I was just asking. So it's cool. A Belgian beer on Thanksgiving doesn't hurt.
That will happen.
Mike,
Nice.
Mike, are you aware that Carrie is a descendant directly from the Pilgrims?
Your wife is
My wife is a descendant directly of the Pilgrims.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep. So I'm considering myself sort of Thanksgiving royalty at this point.
Yes.
I do claim a lot of different royalties, but this is my newest one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Is there anything else new coming up for Lititz?
No, I would just tell everyone, if you want to come to our town and hang out, coming up in February when things are kind of boring and no one knows what to do and you're sick of being inside is our Fire and Ice Festival. And we kind of have a huge blast. We have ice sculptures throughout the town. We're planning, I haven't told you this yet, Artie, but we need to work on this. We're going to have a punch card so that you can go through town and try Fire and Ice themed drinks.
Oh, I like
so
it.
I know you're going to want to come to Appalachian and see what they're doing during that time. No pressure, but come up with something brilliant. And we'll have a really good time in February at Fire and Ice.
Rebecca, you've made a case to come visit Lititz. So
That's right.
It's great. So thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the beer. We enjoyed learning about you. We're going to go and vote right away. We're going to go to Venture Lititz on social media. Check out Lititz PA on Instagram. Get that link. Get a vote, and let's push Lititz up to the top.
Let's do it. Let's
they're
do
the
it,
coolest. Now they're going to be the best.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Hard to beat. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. And we're going to be right back to wrap things up on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. Okay, and we're going to wrap things up here right now on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. As it turns out that Rebecca decided to stay with us. She just apparently she doesn't drink beer as fast as the rest of us. It's okay though. We're not, no pressure. Please.
I will chug it, okay?
Where's the funnel, Zach? Get the funnel.
Zach!
No funnels. We're not going that direction. And Artie, you want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving here as we step into the holiday in a few days?
You bet, Mike. This goes out to everybody out there in our podcast land. We here at Appalachian Brewing Company are so appreciative of everything that you've provided to us. You've been such great customers, and for those people that work for us, you've been great employees for us. You've been great team members, and we're so happy to have you guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and hopefully we can move through the end of this year, get through Christmas, and have another great time, and sort of get on with regular life. That's my goal.
Absolutely. And I would say cheers to that. So one more for the round, since Rebecca still has half a glass left.
We'll get there.
That's okay. I'm still. So look, next time, Artie, we're going to continue with our road trip. We've been to Harrisburg. We've been to Gettysburg. We've been to Lititz. I guess next we're going to go to Shippensburg.
That's your alma mater, isn't it?
It is, yes, my alma mater. So we weren't lucky enough to have the brew pub in town back in the day, but it's there now. And I don't know. This is actually what I kind of like about it is they say that the day before Thanksgiving is like one of the most popular party days of the year. So maybe we should have gone there, but we wanted to get this done. But anyway, so in Shippensburg, the kids are going to be partying and all around. But I'm looking forward to it because it's Christmas time. And downtown Shippensburg is another town that has their stuff together. They have the university, they have some great local businesses, they have great places to eat, and there's a nice vibe there. So for Artie and Rebecca and Zach,
where are you?
Zach's good. I'm Mike, and thank you so much for joining us on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. For all the latest, go to abcbrew.com.